joining. I'm talking today about design tips and how you can design for your local Facebook and Instagram pages. I am Alejandra. I am a designer at imLabs. I have been here for more than 2 years now, and I work for brands like the UPS Store, Dairy Queen, Papa John's, Theory, amongst others. So when we hear design, it can be a little overwhelming because this subject entitles like a lot of things. For example, you have to think about the brand guidelines, the video editing, audio editing, motion graphics, the overall copywriting and brainstorming. So I want you to help you understand it without being overwhelmed. First, let's talk about why design matters. When you have a strongly visual post, it will get 94% more views because the brain is mostly visual. That means that when you have a strong visual image in a post and it's easy to understand, the text is clear, it's legible, and everything, you will get more views, you will get more interactions, and people will stay and uh, interact or view or acknowledge your post. Why? Because when you're scrolling in social media, you have about 3 seconds to engage the user. And when the post is strong and it's clear, you will we will maintain their interest, and people will not only read the information in the post, but also the caption, and will more likely go to your page and see other posts or do whatever the call to action you're trying to get people to do. For example, book a call or um, I don't know, message you, whatever the outcome you would desire. So here I want to review some of the things that we find in social media that we should avoid because they are not as attractive, and they're very busy, and maybe they're not easy to read, and that makes people just want to keep scrolling and forget about the post. So these are some common mistakes. For example, in the first one, we see that the picture is taken directly from the computer with a phone, so the quality is not great. It is not cut appropriately, so you cannot even see the month or the promotion. So people, when they see this, they will prefer to keep scrolling than to try to decipher what it says in the post. So that's something we want to avoid. Also, for example, the three of these posts are from Dairy Queen, but if you see them, they don't look as if they were from Dairy Queen because they don't respect the colors or they don't respect the typography. Also, for example, in the second one, between the black and the blue background, there's not enough contrast, so people like it's hard to read, and the letter is very small, so people won't even try. They will just keep scrolling. And in the other one, we have to have something in mind for platforms like Instagram. The preferred format for that platform is vertical. So if you upload something that is horizontal, they will crop it, and things like this will happen. For example, it's at breakfast and you cannot read the full word, or you cannot even know what the dish has. So you have to avoid making these mistakes. If you try just doing this, I promise it will be a lot better. So this is an example of how it should be. So this is, you can see every brand has its own identity, and you can different any of the brands that you're seeing here. You have the fonts that they use. You have a great quality photos because they are the ones that corporate provides. Also, you have a little text, and you have a call to action that is very important. That is what you want the client to do after they see your post. For example, this one is for Orange Theory Fitness, and they want people to subscribe, so and to join the gym. So you have to have a clear call to action, like book your class now, book your class today. That's your ending. Every post, or at least most of them, and the ones that are ads, you should have a call to action, so people do the action that you want them to do after seeing the post. Here's an example of how the profiles look before and after we edit them, and how they are supposed to be. For example, in the first one, we have a picture of an ice cream as a profile picture, which is like, I mean, you know it's for Dairy Queen since you see the picture and the cup, but you don't know if it's an actual Dairy Queen store or if it's someone just wanted to put that as a picture. You don't know where that store is located. You don't know what they offer. You don't know. You don't have a lot of quality pictures. You have just like a bunch of random stuff. So it looks cluttered and is very off brand since you're not aligning to anything. It just look messy. And in this other post and in this other profile, you can see it is clear which is the store. You have the logo, you have the address or the location. You see here what they sell, because not every store sells the same. For example, this one has a treats and food, and you know with the posts that are published that it's an actual store because it has the brand guidelines according to the like the brand. They have great pictures, they have promotions, and that gives the user a confidence to know that this is an actual store, and one that they should follow if they want to keep receiving promotions, or they want to keep getting information about the store that is something that interests them. So after all of this, like, how can you do this, and how can you make sure that people know that you are an actual store? You have to, like, every brand have guidelines, and if you try to stick to those guidelines, it's like an easy way for people to know that you are part of the bigger brand, like the actual UPS store or the actual Dairy Queen. So what you want to look on these guidelines, because sometimes they are like a big book of many information, like a lot of information and resources. You have to look for fonts. Usually they have the fonts that you can like download with a link or something like that. They have the tone of voice in which they talk to the clients. Like sometimes when it's a food store, they're more friendly, they're more inviting. When it's a more serious business, it's more of a professional tone of voice. So you need to have that in mind. And also the colors, like when you said, for example, UPS, it's blue and yellow, and but it's not just any blue and yellow. Every brand has a specific color, and it is very easy to just stick to those colors and not just put random colors and be done with it, because that way it will make sure that you are aligned with the whole brand. We don't do this, but as an example for you to do it in an easy manner, you can get templates, because these templates are easy to use. They're helpful to plan ahead. They help you maintain consistency. For example, if you want to make your calendar for July, and you want one post each week, if you have some templates, you can create all of those 4 posts like in one sit, and not have to think about it again for the whole month, instead of going in and putting one post and then the next week creating another. So this will help you create a lot of the posts and do it fast, and do it like in a same style, which help you also create consistency. We recommend using these tools that are easy to use and very like user friendly for people that are not designers. For example, Canva and Adobe Express. These two will give you like great finishing products, and they're, as I said, very easy to use. Also, you should have in mind that corporate normally gives you a lot of assets and resources that you should take advantage of. For example, they have great product pictures. In the brand kits, they have what I told you about the typography and the colors that you can just download. Sometimes they have backgrounds that you can just use and put the information in. And if you have, like, for example, coupons or stuff like that, sometimes they have the template for that too. So as I said, it's a lot of things that entitle design. But like, if you are going to do it by yourself, I know it's overwhelming. For example, we are a team of many people. We have a different sort of structure, since we each have a different speciality. And what we do is we try to, with the help of all the team, create the best results. So here is how we do it. First, well, it depends on the client and the need. Even if it's the same brand, each client has a specific needs. For example, if we're talking to a UPS store, some need a help with printing because it's a slow service for them, or some want to promote mailbox or shipping. Like, we need to know first what the necessity of the client is. So you have to identify what is your weakness in your store or what you want to promote first. After that, we have some content creators that develop the idea around the necessity that you have. And with that idea in mind, we create the content. So the content is just not just the graphic post that you see on social media, but the whole idea behind it. It has the caption, the copy inside the image that should reflect what you wanted to say. So it is like a whole idea that is being brought to life. After we have the first initial design, we have a few rounds of feedback and corrections, because, as I said, like, the whole team has different specialities. For example, we have someone that checks the spelling and the redaction, that everything is ready to go. Also, we have someone to review the animations, that they have enough time with between the transitions, and that you can easily see them and read them, because we have to think not only about us but the client that is going to read them. And after all of this back and forth, we have a final design. We also have a process where we send this content to corporate for them to approve and make sure that it is aligned with their guidelines and their ideals. And after that, we schedule. So as you see, it's like a lengthy process, and that is why we have a whole team behind it.
Thank you everyone for paying attention and listening to Alejandra. I know this can be like a very difficult topic. We're still gonna be sending this video edited to everyone who attended, everyone who wanted to attend and couldn't attend. And if you can watch it again, you can watch it on your own time and share it with fellow franchisees or people who you think this could be helpful for. And obviously, if you have any other questions after watching it or via email, we're always available for you guys. And just remember that we're here to help you with your local social media in any aspect that you need. Thank you for joining our webinar, and we will be happy to share our next webinar next month so that you guys can keep learning with us and keep understanding more about social media and all its perks. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.